between these two nations. The first, as we heard during the pre-game show, not in the best of conditions. But Popovic has managed to turn the ship around. Opportunity knocking for Paul Izzo this evening as well. The Soccer Ashes 2025 between the green and gold and the All Whites is underway. And Andy Harper, opportunity knocks. We know in preparations for a World Cup, there's no such thing as a friendly. We've heard it repeated over and over this week as well. But there's opportunity for players this evening to stake a claim. Opportunities for a coach as well, with time up his sleeve to really make a mark.
It's a big night, Robbie. Good evening to you and to all our viewers. There's been a lot of spicy talk in the lead up to this one. New Zealand with a good selection of players. Australia, of course, well known to most of the local audience, and a couple of youngsters getting some more football and some nice footwork to get things going down the left-hand side.
Already the confidence of Geordie Boss down that left side.
And it's a rare treat for fans of Australia and New Zealand. Normally at this stage of World Cup qualifying, they're neck deep in knockout matches. It's rare oxygen, preparation oxygen for the tournament next year to start refining things now. And such a great concept, the Soccer Ashes. This will be a good game tonight, and another rare treat, Robbie, being able to watch, and for fans to be able to watch the Socceroos on a weekend, a Friday night. It's normally a Thursday, Tuesday FIFA window type situation. What a great way to start the weekend.
Absolutely, and the nation's capital has turned out as well at Bruce Stadium, GIO Stadium, as it's now known. We've even, as I mentioned, brought the referees in from overseas. Don Robinson is the man in the middle from Scotland, being assisted by his compatriot Chris Ray and the Northern Irishman Stephen Bell. Ben Abraham is the fourth official, and we have a couple of Scotsmen in the VAR room as well, Ryan Lee and Gavin Duncan, as it's a ball over the top for Wood to try and stretch the Socceroos defence. Sammy Silvera getting back. Here's Francis de Vries of Auckland FC. Ryan Thomas. Great opportunity for him, and the first shot of the match comes from Tim Payne.
And a first little glimpse in that little sequence of Sarpreet Singh as well. Now, watchers of the A-League would have been enamoured with the youngster coming through at Wellington Phoenix. Jet set it off to Bayern, and is, you know, unless you're an anorak following all sorts of leagues of football, to the mainstream A-League audience, so in love with Sarpreet Singh, have wondered what he's become, now playing in Serbia. But he ignited that last attack with a beautiful crossfield ball for Chris Wood. Looking forward to seeing what sort of shape Sarpreet Singh is in nowadays.
Plays his football for TSC in Serbia alongside a certain Miloš Degenek. After spells, and you're right, he has been around in Portugal, in Germany. Oh, there's an opening here. Bursting onto the ball. Down that left-hand side is Geordie Boss. Gets the cross in as well. Oh, deflected onto the post. Well, Joe Bell got the decisive touch and in the end got away with it.
Well, you talk about decisive touches, but that was right on halfway. Look at this from Metcalf. Beautiful, knew exactly what was on offer, and no less than a rampaging Geordie Boss. A great sight here in full flight, and the deflection nearly falling the way of the Socceroos.
Just completed a €5 million move to Feyenoord in the Eredivisie, the Dutch top flight. Geordie Boss, and got his first goal in the derby, no less, on the weekend against Sparta. Plays his football under Robin van Persie these days for Feyenoord, a big famous Dutch club. And the one he supported as a kid. Martin Boyle's ball in. There's no Harry Souttar in the middle at the moment for the Socceroos, but the delivery wasn't bad.
And the last flying Socceroos fullback to adorn the Feyenoord strip was Brett Emerton. So fingers crossed for Geordie Boss that he can at least in some part emulate the great Emma. Still a club legend at Feyenoord.
On the other side, wasn't he, down the right, with Geordie operating on the left. Here, the Socceroos come again onto the front foot. Boss, he's got options in the middle. Pulls things back, driven in. Yazbek and Teague looking to just hold the fort at the back and release the attackers. Yazbek with Rustic, also back playing his football in the Netherlands after a very happy spell with Eintracht Frankfurt, less so in Italy with Verona and then Salernitana. Here's Sammy Silvera. He's enjoying life at Middlesbrough at the moment, top of the championship after 4 wins from 4.
And importantly, contributing. He started every game for Middlesbrough. I'm sure that's what's won him the starting berth here. Other players are at clubs in that level of football north of the border in Scotland, but not necessarily starting. Sammy has exploded to begin this season.
There's an initial slip by Elijah Just, but he recovered only to foul Nathan Rustic. Got a good shot there of the new Zealand kit, which is a retro kit celebrating their first World Cup appearance in 1982. They lost all 3 matches in that tournament. They returned in 2010, undefeated in the group stage, including that draw we saw 1-1 with Italy in the group stage in South Africa. And now back 16 years later it will be for the World Cup, which is the 6th in a row for the Socceroos, the 7th in Socceroo history. Izzo taking advantage of a number of players who were left out of the Socceroos squad. Matt Ryan, the 100 cap man, who's only just signed with Levante in Spain, but was without a club for much of pre-season. Here's Metcalf. Early ball for Martin Boyle. Strong from Boxall, the veteran, 37 years of age, and getting stronger and stronger at the back with Minnesota in the MLS. Bell finds De Vries. To get over the disappointment of that elimination at the hands of Heidelberg in the Australia Cup semi-final. De Vries. Tim Payne on the opposite flank had to a week earlier against Heidelberg in the quarterfinals of the Cup. Thomas plays his football with Pexvola. That's a good ball for De Vries, but Silvera is quick enough to get there. Ooh, what's the referee decided there? Goal kick.
Well, a good fresh opening, very fresh conditions here in Canberra. But New Zealand have played with plenty of swagger, and some of the Socceroos passing sequences have been very crisp. In fact, that last attack, which was blunted in the end by the boisterous Boxall, was otherwise really impressive from Australia.
Little slip by Degenek has got the Socceroos under a little pressure. Chirikati concedes the throw. Fantastic reward for Miloš Degenek, who inherits the captain's armband in the absence of Ryan, and Jackson Irvine as well, still coming back from that injury. De Vries with the long throw. Chirikati's header. Bell finds De Vries again, now just dealt with by Yazbek. Throw taken quickly. Tyler Binden looks for the diagonal ball. Teague's header, and the Socceroos managed to play their way out of trouble. Yazbek for Silvera. Chirikati again. Stepped up in class this season. Alessandro Chirikati with his club side Parma, back in the top flight in Italy. A chance for the New Zealanders to put their foot on the ball. Boxall been forced back. Linden with Just. And Chris Wood, touch back. That's good football from the All Whites. Chris Wood again. Strong, powerful runner, and a nice, delicate little touch there as well to take him around his opposition player. Degenek becoming the 64th captain of the Socceroos this evening. Aaron Baisley doing ball boy duties there. We saw him just before. 300 matches for Watford back in the late 80s and 1990s for the Englishman, who is now everyman, really, in terms of New Zealand national team coaching. Teague. Fell to Thomas. Now Bell. That's a nice turn, and the effort is a good one, just wide. Sarpreet Singh with the first range finder, 11 minutes in.
Well, that looked familiar. On the half turn and dragged the ball beautifully into the shooting arc for his left foot. Poor Lizzo's heart skipped a beat on debut.
First two shots of the evening. There is Baisley. It's his side that has fired the first shots across the bow. Tony Popovic alongside Paul Ocon. In the green and gold dugout, Chiacati's head up. Yazbek has to fight. That's what we like to see. We know there's an innate rivalry between these countries when it comes to the sporting field. And the word out of the New Zealand camp is that for the first time at a World Cup, there are going to be some very good players that don't make the cut. We're certainly getting the feeling that Tony Popovic wants that to be a similar situation with the Socceroos. And you can see from this squad and the players missing that not everyone will be on the plane to North America next year. There was even a couple of rumours of a little bit of friction. So competitive was the training for the All Whites this week. Everyone wants to be a part of it. Linden with Just again accelerating through the middle of the park. McCoward outside with Payne, ball back in towards Elijah Just.
Well, in the end, it played into what has been one of the strengths of the Tony Popovic era. 8 games undefeated since he started, is the defending in the arc inside the penalty area around the 6-yard box, if I can make that sort of description. And Cam Burgess retreating as he needed to, and a very confident interception. It's been the very consistently strong part of the Socceroos under Popovic.
De Vries, good delivery into a dangerous area. Ryan Teague managed to get it clear. A little confusion in the end. Sarpreet Singh. I don't think we'll put that one down as a shot.
No, less familiar, that one, from Sarpreet. So he's balanced the ledger. One fizzer, one failure.
15 minutes gone, and Tony Popovic's new-look Socceroos are just taking a little time to gel here. 13 changes from the previous camp. No A-League players. 7 players recalled that weren't part of that side that defeated Japan and then Saudi Arabia to qualify for the World Cup. 8 in the squad after Fran Karacic was replaced by Jack Iredell after arriving in camp. 8 players uncapped. 7 now with Paul Izzo, cap number 650 in green and gold. Crocombe, the Millwall goalkeeper, with Bindon. One over the top for Wood to chase. It's a well-measured ball and a good, typically bustling run from Chris Wood. De Vries with Just. Bindon, Boxall and Bell exchanging passes. Thomas looking to direct traffic. Here he is, Ryan Thomas. Back with Tyler Bindon, whose mum was a New Zealand Ferns goalkeeper. 77 caps for mum Jenny, a goalkeeper who took Tyler and Dad off to the United States when he was young. She was coaching the UCLA women's soccer program. He's actually a USA Youth International, Tyler Bindon. He might be back in the USA for the Northern Hemisphere summer if all things go according to plan for him. Nice touch, Payne looking to return the ball.
Well, he'll be pretty happy, Karen Baisley. Let's say Tony Popovic, the team defending in a very compact manner, but just can't get the ball. And the Kiwis have been hogging the thing for the last 5 minutes, looking very accomplished.
They've got 10 A-League players in their squad. The All Whites. There's Bindon all the way back to Crocombe. Max Crocombe, who's Maslongo's teammate at Millwall. Oh, that's a good ball. The flag stays down for now. Chris Wood, great save, Izzo. Well, that will do his confidence the world of good. One-on-one with the Nottingham Forest striker.
You'd have thought, for all money, given the form that Chris Wood has been in over recent years, not just last season, put in on goal like that by the beautiful touch of Sarpreet Singh, and it would be 1-0 for New Zealand. As they did very, very well. VAR, of course, would have decided whether it was onside or off, but in the real-time view of the assistant referee, it was onside.
Here's Connor Metcalf. Oh, his pass back for Geordie Boss. McCowart bundled over by Cam Burgess, who's been an ever-present under Tony Popovic. He's got a couple of words for the referee as well. There has been a feeling the New Zealand football has been on the rise. Liberato Cacaci has signed for Wrexham from the Italian Serie A. And a move that has certainly caught the eye. Of players in the Netherlands. And the UK and the USA as well. Finn Sermon recently captained the Portland Timbers in the MLS after just one full season in the A-League with Wellington Phoenix. It's another one for Wood to chase.
I think it's fair to say, rather dispassionately, that the A-League has been very good to Kiwi football. There's Sarpreet Singh. He is the A-League as a springboard. Not so Chris Wood. Paul Izzo certainly has to save to his right. For all money, you'd have thought that had been 1-0 for the Kiwis. Great chance put on from Sarpreet Singh. And one has gone missing for Chris Wood. so prolific in the English Premier League at the moment with Nottingham Forest.
You can see the belief in this New Zealand side at the moment. They're playing with confidence. They breezed through qualifying, and in this enlarged World Cup next year they have direct qualification for the first time, and they certainly didn't let that generous opportunity miss. Now De Vries arcing that ball in towards the penalty spot. Metcalf with Rustic did very well to return the ball to Connor Metcalf, who's done equally well again. Rustic holds onto the ball. Oh, and again just behind, and the referee's whistle coming a little to his rescue there.
Just wouldn't settle for Aiden Rustic. He wanted to open up the field down the left-hand side. Why wouldn't you when it's Geordie Boss? Since those early couple of runs from Boss, Australia haven't had a lot of joy. Just is making more than a nuisance of himself and stopping the flow of that attack. Well done to him. It's been a very dominant Kiwi performance in the opening 20 minutes, or for large parts of that 20.
Yazbek did well. Rustic. And now Ryan T. Well wide on the left for Geordie Boss again. Oh, he's full of running, Boss. That's a fantastic run. On the right boot. Not his preferred. And he couldn't hit the target, but that is what's been lighting up the Eredivisie in recent weeks.
That sort of thing is what's given hope for the Socceroos. Not just tonight, but a fit Geordie Boss is quite some prospect, and the power to run through that rather cluttered midfield, but gliding past players as though they're not there. Done with a little bit more of a glide with that right foot. Too much of a sledgehammer miss hit one, but a very exciting lead up. He's been the Socceroos standout in the opening exchanges.
If you haven't seen it yet, make sure you check out his goal for Feyenoord against Sparta as well last weekend before heading into camp. A volley from 20 metres out. De Vries back with Bindon, now Boxall sitting second in their conference, Minnesota. Michael Boxall playing just about every minute at the moment. It's a good switch for Tim Payne. Here's McCowart. Bell. Good ball in behind, will it sit? Burgess is across strong in cover on Payne.
Well, centre midfield for Australia has to get a little bit more dominant, a lot more aggressive. They've been played around and played through, and neither Yazbek nor Teague are really being able to lay a glove on anyone.
Oh, and Izzo's played himself into trouble there. Ryan Thomas is asking the question, was that a back pass from Pat Yazbek? Chikati now for Rustic. You can hear Popovic, that's better. Playing their way through.
It's only a brief respite though, isn't it, Robbie? 2 passes, 3 passes, it breaks down. Kiwis set. So settled they look in possession.
Strong again from Boxall. Up the line, McCowart did well, but it's Geordie Boss that read the situation best.
Come on, Patrick!
Yazbek plays for Nashville. We'll know a few of these Kiwi players from the MLS. Just. Kai Rolls is on the bench. He's at DC United as well. The Socceroo defender who played at the World Cup in 2022. And already Tony Popovic has sent 5 players to warm up on the sidelines. Perhaps a little message to the starting 11. They should lift a little bit. Coming up to the 25-minute mark. New Zealand have had the better of it so far. Chiakati with Burgess. And Boss for Metcalf. Well, there they were able to turn, but again, Metcalf caught in possession. Just exchanges passes with Wood, and then shows the kind of fight as well to get the better of Connor Metcalf. Just again, he's got Singh on the edge of the box, the ball in. Well cleared by Degenek. The All Whites knocking on the door. Tony Popovic has always been very honest in his post-match analysis, as Sarpreet Singh's cross to the back post will go behind for a goal kick, but not hiding the fact that the Socceroos need to be better with the ball, need to be better in possession. 9 months until the World Cup. This was the first window to try and put some of that in place, but we haven't seen too much of it yet. No, just more ammunition for the coach, actually. Been very poor ball retention through midfield, and if they're not immediately breaking the line, and New Zealand are regrouping brilliantly, stealing the ball, good ambush in midfield. This sort of phase of play, Australia's looking a little bit more convincing. A rare touch for Martin Boyle in the opening 25 minutes or so. Playing that number 9 role where he's played for his club in Scotland. Hibs currently sitting 3rd in the Scottish Premier League, but he's been more of a right-sided player for the Socceroos. And he can't control the pass from Chiakati. Boyle, who missed out on the World Cup, of course, with that ACL injury, would love another chance, and for the moment, over this World Cup qualifying campaign, he has been good for Tony Popovic. Yeah, it's a very unusual position for him to be leading the line. And it's amazing, Robbie, when you are deployed in a less familiar position, how it impacts your technique from time to time. There's so much psychological energy you lose just trying to familiarise yourself with the role. But the pass and receive basics of the game can sometimes elude. Let's see how he goes in a sprint. That's not just about Martin Boyle, that can be a general conversation, but clearly Australia not even close to being good enough with the ball at the moment. Defensively compact, the back centre 3 have started strongly. Geordie Boss, impressive down the left. I'd like to see an opportunity for Sammy Silvera down the right, but he hasn't really had any particular chance to attack down the right-hand side because Australia haven't been able to keep the ball. DeVries with Thomas. We saw a couple of nice passing moves from the Socceroos, but here's another one for New Zealand. Degenek again watchful of Wood running off the shoulder. Chiakati under pressure from Elijah Just. They have a couple of very creative players, New Zealand, operating in those attacking midfield roles, Just and Singh. Bell with Bindon. Just again with DeVries. Trying to get away. Yazbek closing down space in the middle of the park. A little bit of frustration for Pat Yazbek as well. It's just his 3rd cap. Ryan Teague, it's just his 4th. Aiden Hrustic is back in the side after a walk through the wilderness of international football. Connor Metcalf has only just come back that last window against Japan and Saudi Arabia after a long time out as well. Sammy Silvera is back after a spell out of the squad, so it will take a certain amount of time. Wood. His pass. Here goes Geordie Boss again. A powerful run-up down that left-hand side. Geordie Boss, 23 years of age. The former Melbourne City Flyer. That's well played. Here he is again. Low ball. Looking for Martin Boyle. Cleared by Tyler Bindon. And everything good for the Socceroos so far has been coming down that left-hand side. A-League Young Player of the Year in 2023. Geordie Boss. Yazbek with Degenek. By far the most experienced. Ooh, that was a tough challenge on Sammy Silvera. De Vries has caught him, and the referee is coming across to have a word now. Tony Popovic is not happy with that challenge. Did look nasty.
Well, Sammy Silvera had a brief moment when he thought, I might get through here and have a gallop. He's lunging in. Nowhere near the ball. The yellow card has just been administered to De Vries. Accepts that decision from the referee. It's an awkward one for Sammy Silvera. Great start to the season in the championship, and change in a heartbeat, can't it, with a mistimed or a late tackle.
Well, there was real contact on that right ankle. Referee from Scotland, Don Robertson, I think got a little word in his ear. As we just see that yellow card.
Well, he's barely moved, Sammy. I mean, this is not great. And it looks like it's pretty high up the ankle. At times even more problematic. Getting ahead of ourselves, but
well, there is VAR this evening to have a look at it. I mean, we saw it a couple of times. I don't think it necessarily warranted a red, but he was definitely lunging in. It looks, in fact, like it's the left ankle that's the cause for concern.
It's a very long interruption.
Lewis Miller is warming up.
Robbie, it was very late. Silvera's gone. Ball's gone.
No, it is left.
It's
right
over,
on that left ankle.
over the ankle too. I don't know. Look,
no, that is a nasty challenge.
I don't, is that going to survive real scrutiny in a World Cup finals? I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not on De Vries. He's a great character, very upright character, super footballer. And that was a naughty one. I'm sorry.
He's a big boy as well. He was airborne. That's a lot of weight coming down on that left ankle that's looking to accelerate. Sammy Silvera is back to his feet. Lewis Miller is going through a very quick warm-up on the sidelines. Let's hope that Sammy Silvera is right to continue for the Socceroos and also for himself. He doesn't have to leave the field of play because a yellow card was the end of that foul. Now the referee is preparing to get the two sides back underway. Francis De Vries, I won't say he can consider himself lucky, but it was more on the orangey side of yellow than lemon.
It was definitely bitter though.
Ryan T. Burgess forward. That's a nice touch again from Rustic. This is where the Socceroos have looked dangerous with those first-time passes through midfield. Metcalf, Yazbek now with Chikati. Metcalf again, moving in and out, looking for a bit of space. Here's Rustic with Teague, Chiakati. New Zealand back and organised. That's stepping off the line well from Martin Boyle. Boxall let him go. Now Geordie Boss. Yazbek, oh, the slip, recovers, but not enough. The pass, inviting juice forward. And Chiakati very strong in the challenge with Ryan Thomas. A little bit ragged, but Socceroos just answering the physical challenge. That's a lovely touch from Rustic past McCoward. Boss looks up, crosses, ball too close to Crocombe. Nine minutes to go in this first half. Tony Popovich writing in his little book a couple of notes for the half-time talk. You can see Boyle leading the line, the two number 10s behind him, Metcalf and Rustic coming inside, trying to overpopulate that central area, make space for Boss and Silvera, but hasn't quite been clicking as of yet. Ryan Thomas just marshalling that area of the field, and then a little one back, one nutmeg apiece. One through the legs of Connor Metcalf. Boxall, it's a good ball for Tim Payne. Woods in the middle. Well, the idea was there, not the execution.
Yeah, just couldn't pull it back. Beautiful ball from Boxall. Evergreen Michael Boxall, really, 37 years of age. Nearly a decade at the MLS. Nearly 300 games for Minnesota United. It's quite an achievement.
And an all-star this year at 37 years of age.
Looking as good as ever.
In 2017, he moved from Supersport in South Africa to Minnesota. Chris Wood wanted it ahead from Franny de Vries. De Vries, who gets an opportunity with the absence of Kakache. It's a 12th cap for Francis de Vries, who is almost the epitome of a late bloomer to international football.
Club football. His journey started out in the college system in America as well.
Michigan?
In Pennsylvania, actually. St. Francis Red Flash. And then a lot of lower league visitations, a little bit in Europe, back into New Zealand club football, and then bang, arrives last year at the Auckland Black Knights, and his life has changed completely, I'd suggest, with a World Cup on the horizon. It's a great story. Generally, it's been great to watch, apart from that tackle on Sammy Silvera. Moments just passed, but it's been a very good half for New Zealand. Australia have had some good chances, hit the post from a deflection, but all their work, apart from one sequence, was in a counter-attack sense. They've been generally unconvincing with the ball. Pretty much hasn't functioned. The attacking five, the two holding midfielders and the three in front, just haven't really found any sort of chemistry at all in possession.
Chiakati's initial pass was cut out. The second couldn't find its mark. Foul by Yazbek on Singh. Well, there are options in attack for Tony Popovich. this evening. Adrian Segacic, the Golden Boot in the A-League last year, who's hit the ground running at Portsmouth in the Championship. Noah Botic is not on the team sheet this evening, but Nick Milanovic is. Last year's Johnny Warren medal winner from the A-League. Mo Toure as well, who's got 2 assists and a goal in the last month with Randers, where he plays his football alongside Paul Izzo. Box midfield for the moment, just unable to get close enough to the All Whites. Thomas with Bell. Just. And now Bindon. Payne takes off again. Geordie Boss, never watchful. That's a nice touch from Degenek as well. Chiacati now. Silvera showing no ill effects for the moment anyway, with that knock on the left ankle. Chiacati still back to Izzo.
It's a familiar pattern for Popovic. Undefeated after 8, direct qualification for the World Cup. That's excellent. But in those 8 matches, Robbie, how many excellent first halves have we had? Question without notice. I think Popper has done a lot of his best work in the sheds at half-time, because it hasn't been a flashy first half here. There's some very good parts to the game, but generally I think it's fair to say that the Kiwis have looked like the better football team.
Let's see if this new look squad just needed a good 45 minutes just to get into its stride as well. Almost looked like a wry smile, or a contented smile from Darren Bazley. I'm sure that's not the case, with still so long to go. It would be a rare thing for a coach to count chickens before they're hatched. Certainly at 0-0 in a friendly match. Oh, as it's back to Izzo. Not the easiest ball to negotiate. That's well played though. Geordie Boss again with a good touch. Rustic, Boyle. Now Boyle goes again. Managed to hold on to the ball. Yazbek with Rustic. Here's Ryan T. Rustic again. Good touch, good effort as well from Connor Metcalf. Second shot of the evening for the Socceroos. It's well struck too. True. And too hot for Crocombe to handle. Yazbek letting that one bounce. It's all the way through to Burgess, and now Izzo. Don't want to miss out on what's coming up on this big year for the Socceroos. You can be aware that there's a new ticketing platform coming up called FA Plus for the Socceroos and the Matildas. FA Plus, priority access, exclusive perks all year round, and it's coming soon. So with a big year on the horizon for the Australian national teams, make sure you look out for that. As Thomas with a good switch, it's a good ball. Back for Wood, here he is, a second opportunity, and it's another fine save from Izzo. That's twice Paul Izzo has denied Chris Wood down to his right.
Well, it's a great ball again, and Australia Tigers' defence almost breached. The run from midfield, turning the back three around and setting up Chris Wood for that shot. It's a great forward run and a really nice tidy touch to set up the shooting opportunity for Chris Wood, and Paul Izzo excellent to his right.
Callum McCoward, number 20 with that touchback, plays his football for Silkeborg in Denmark. And it comes near post. The initial head was New Zealand before it bounced off Rustic, I think. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Bindon is in there close to Paul Izzo. Oh, they're having a look here, the VAR. And then we need to see that again, because it was one in the air by New Zealand head and did bounce off. I think it was Aiden Rustic. Let's have a look at the near post here. It looked like it was a New Zealand hand first, then maybe Rustic's hand. Nothing going there, ball in from the corner. Thumping defensive header from Milos Degenek. And that first minute of stoppage time, most of it spent with that little VAR review of a potential penalty. Good climb from Sammy Silvera, but just takes over. Payne, the cross, back post, it's beyond everyone.
Yeah, I would have thought that Sammy Silvera stoppage was 2 minutes of the time. Anyway, shortchanged the Kiwis because they've had the better of the first half. You'd imagine Australia pretty keen to get in the sheds and sort a couple of things out.
A bit to sort out as well. Boyle just turned into trouble there with Sarpreet Singh. Little knock on the side of the head. Yazbek with Burgess again. Good press from the All Whites, forcing the Socceroos back to Izzo again. Yazbek. The individual run. Referee sees nothing untoward in that challenge. Just with Bell and now Bindon. 2 minutes of stoppage time and barely a second more. Half time in Canberra. No goals. Chris Wood has been close a couple of times, denied by Paul Izzo on debut for the Socceroos. The Socceroos who hit the post in probably their best spell of the match in that opening 10 minutes when Geordie Boss's raid was deflected onto Crocom's post. But still plenty of work for the Socceroos to do at the break. Here in Canberra, it's Australia 0, New Zealand 0. And stay with us, we're heading off to a very quick break and we will be back with the halftime show.
This is one of Australia's premier truffle farmers, and this is his own Alice. Together they run a well-timed farm, surrounded by some of Canberra's best wineries with an award-winning chef and five-star dining. When asked to describe the experience, Alice will say something like, "Yeah, the truffles are good," which is why it's usually best to rely on Jonathan here for the commercial side of things. Canberra, there's more than meat in us. Good luck, Jonathan. Not guaranteed.
We all play the same game. The battlefield may look different. Between those painted lines, the feeling each of us get alongside our tribe. We let the moments sink in, and then let it go. The runs out wide, the hostage efforts and clean sheets. The tapping or the rocket to the top bins. No eruption of the 12th player since she's down the spine. It's in the way we celebrate, because football is everyone's game. Play football.
The Socceroos football program is designed to use football as a medium for fun, engagement and physical activity, with learning principles that can make the ball a part of the run. With a focus on movement skills, teamwork, coordination and having fun, the program really encourages students to participate in game-based activities that is based on Football Australia's play for life philosophy, as well as the personal development, health and physical education series.
Applying for the Schools football program is very easy. You just need to click on the emails from the Australian Schools Commission and you can apply every day. Select football and just apply through the schools program.
I love playing soccer at school because they have really good equipment. We also have lots of people, so we can have lots of games and just have fun and all the things.
You don't have to be competitive. It's all about having fun and like hang out with friends and make new friends.
The Schools football program, I would recommend to all teachers out there. It's enabled us to have finances to buy equipment. It's enabled us to run extracurricular activities, and most of all, to allow us to have lots of fun.
The Socceroos series kicks off tonight at GIO Stadium in the nation's capital, with both sides. They've already punched their tickets to the World Cup next year, and this is an audition of sorts for a number of players. And well, the All Whites have come out blazing, well and truly dominating the first half. 0-0 right now, no goals just yet, but what a first half of action we have seen. I'm Tara Rush, and great to have your company and to welcome in a couple of footballing legend, All Whites legends, Shane Smelt and Archie T from the Socceroos as well. You've got to be happy with that from an All Whites perspective, because you well and truly had the upper hand, Smeltsy.
They've looked comfortable, haven't they? You know, they've going into that half. You probably didn't predict it that comfortable for the All Whites. You know, I think they've controlled play in the middle of the park. The two centre backs, Boxall and Bindon, haven't really been tested. This was probably a hairy moment early on where it's hit the post, but other than that, there hasn't been a lot.
Well, the bright moments really for Socceroos have come down the left-hand side with Geordie Boss. I mean, those marauding runs that when he gets the ball in full flight. But like you said, I think the dominance of this midfield from the All Whites, especially their possession in their attacking half. I mean, they seem to hold that really well. And this was a great touch from Singh. An even better shot from Wood, but what an incredible save from Izzo. Down to his right side was amazing.
I think Woodsy would want to have that chance back, wouldn't he? Yeah, he probably could have gone either way.
And this is Boss again. This is where all the excitement came from the Socceroos. I mean, they just need to get more possession, need to start to try to find space in that, final third. But I just think that the way that the All Whites have defended have really made that difficult. And it's these smart runs on the edges of the Socceroos defence that have had a lot of luck for the All Whites. I mean, they've been sensational.
Paul Izzo on debut has had to stand up big in goal for the Socceroos, and he has done his job, that is for sure. Sammy Silvera, we're a little bit worried about the ankle knock that he picked up from Francis de Vries, but he did continue to play. But as you've both said, and you can see from the match stats in that first half, that New Zealand have well and truly been the dominant force. And it has been a bit of a tricky night at the office for Ryan Teague and Patrick Yazbek in midfield, being overawed really by the All Whites. and what they're doing to counterbalance that. We haven't really seen them being able to play through at all the Socceroos in that regard through the middle of the park.
No, I think that's been a key area. You know, having so many combinations between the three combination of the midfielders of the All Whites is dominated. They've actually kept the ball far better than the Australian team, and they're going to have to do something there. Popper's going to have a word to them. I'm sure there'll be changes. You'd expect some changes. There's energy to come into it, and we'll see how the second half unfolds.
You were about to join the Mini-Roos game there, weren't you? Taking a look at the shining light, we saw a bunch of his highlights just then, and that is Geordie Boss. He's back in the national team, and he's back starting for the first time in nearly a year. What a player.
Yeah, excitement machine. Every time he gets the ball, he always looks to go forward. And when he does go forward with the ball at pace, he seems to just glide past players. I think from the other side, you'd probably like to see Sammy Severa get a little bit more involved, try to push up those left and right wing backs a bit more what Geordie Boss is doing. But I mean, that's what you want. You want your players to be taking on this defence and trying to open up the gaps. I think I'd like to see we've seen Roostich get on the ball. There's been some signs of some quality, but just needs the runs or needs some penetrating runs to really open up the defence.
We have seen slow starts in the first half from the Socceroos, though, so what we see in the second. We're off to a short break, much more coming up on the other side. It is the Soccer Ashes. It is match one of the Soccer Ashes here on a gorgeous night, GIO Stadium in Canberra. We'll see you soon.
A few moments away from playing Forever Golden Trivia. If you want to play, what you need to do is scan that QR code, and we're going to get playing in a moment for a Forever Golden T-shirt representing your CommBank Socceroos. Looking amazing and warm at the moment, Amelia and Ben. You can just see them up and about here. We are going to do some Forever Golden trivia for this T-shirt. Are you warm at the moment?
Yes.
Are you enjoying the game at the moment?
Yes.
You think you're going to do well at Forever Golden trivia?
No.
All right, look at that. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So we've got 3 questions. Everybody's playing at the moment. You can scan the QR code. We will give you multiple choice, all right? So it's very easy. 3 questions. Let's go. Have a look at question 1 here. Amelia and Ben here playing off for our Forever Golden trivia. In which year did Australia win the AFC Asian Cup? 07? Is it 2011, 15 or 19? What do you think, Amelia? 2015. What do you think, Ben? 2011. All right, let's see what everybody else is voting for at the moment, because I can tell you that one of them is correct. So get your votes in, scan the QR code. We will find out the majority of votes, and then we'll get our winner. I have a feeling that Amelia is going to be very happy with this. Let's find out. Come on, show us. Here we go. 54% say 2015, and the winner is 2015. Very nice work. All right, let's go to question 2. Question 2 in our Forever Golden Trivia. Who is the Socceroos' all-time leading goal scorer? Is it Harry Kuehl? Is it Archie Thompson? Archie's here tonight as well. Mark Viduka or Tim Cahill? What do you think of him? Ben? All right, we've got a Tim Cahill, we've got a Harry Kuehl. thing says 78 Amelia. Let's have a look at what everybody else is voting for. Let's be honest, everybody just wants to get on the big screen, which is amazing. There's a lot saying 78. The answer is... There's your 50, so Ben gets one. Hey, look at these kids, they are up and about. Everyone, give us a big go, Socceroos. We are forever golden. The CommBank Socceroos second half, not too far away.
We're counting down to the second half between the Socceroos and All Whites. This was a How good moment. Sarpreet Singh, what a pass to Chris Wood. New Zealand's all-time leading goal scorer, and the ball is stopped by the Socceroo Paul Izzo on debut. Socceroo number 650 for this one of the pivotal moments in the first half. Chris Wood, well, he's got that in his locker. He'll be so bitterly disappointed that didn't find the back of the net. But coming into this second half, Shane Smells, Archie T, come on, do we get to see who we want to see on the park?
Yeah, look, I think Popper could make a host of changes here, to be honest, and he's probably thinking a number of things. I think you're likely to see a change up top in the number 9 position. Maybe a Bodic come on. Boyle sort of toiled with that position. I think he's dropped in. He's dropped in deep to try and pick up the ball, but then no one's getting in behind. So I think you might see a change there.
Yeah, look, I just want to see the Aussie boys go at this New Zealand side.
All right, kick-off is a minute away.
Welcome back to Canberra for the second half of this first match of the 2025 Soccer Ashes series between Australia and New Zealand. Scoreless at the break, but 2 changes coming for the Socceroos. Lewis Miller replacing Sammy Silvera at right back, and New York City's Aidan O'Neill coming into the middle of the park. To try and add a little bit more steel and a little bit more power in the middle of the park. It's Pat Yazbek, who has made way. In the first half, Andy Harper, where we saw the Socceroos start well enough, particularly with Geordie Boss, who was a main threat throughout, but otherwise it was New Zealand who controlled that one.
Yeah, great first half from the Kiwis. Paul Izzo had to make a good save or two. Kiwis' goal frame was hit by a deflected effort. And otherwise, Foxconn in their goal really didn't have a lot to do. Had a good view of most of the match, actually. I would have been impressed with his team.
There you see confirmation of those 2 substitutions. If any Socceroos fans need something to just gee them up a little bit as Singh's run through. Boxall bundling over players. Referee allows play to continue. Justs ball in. The header away by Burgess. And now Bell. New Zealand back on the front foot. It's a good ball. There was a nudge from behind by Chiakati, but it was Deganek that got the initial header. Perhaps just made Chiakati's push a moot point. Now the Socceroos can put their foot on the ball and try and play their way out of danger.
Good central defending again. It was an excellent header from Deganek. Of course, there was a little bit of commotion behind him. And the challenge to which you'd referred, Robbie. That back three is a really good cornerstone. Chikati, of course, impressing. What a big career in front of him. Burgess looking alongside Deganek is a very, very good tearing.
So back to those reasons to believe for the Socceroos fans. 8 of their last 11 goals against New Zealand all come in the second half. 3 of the last 4. So they don't mind leaving it late. I've just got to hope, if that's the case, that the defence holds firm still. Singh. McCoward made some good runs. In behind did Callum McCoward. Boxall. McCoward all the way back to Tyler Bindon. De Vries. No changes for the Kiwis at half-time. Just to give you an idea of New Zealand's dominance in that first half, 43 passes into the final third from New Zealand against Australia. That's more than an opposition side has managed against the Socceroos in their last 65 matches. Now that is going back a long, long time. The only side to have done better in those 65 matches, Japan. In this current qualifying campaign, it was in June. Ironically enough, Socceroos won that one too. We'll see if history repeats itself on that front. Well, that's a good ball for Wood. Lays it back for Singh. Again, the match being played in Australia's final third. Burgess with the header. O'Neill helps it clear again, only as far as Sarpreet Singh. Just for Thomas. The Socceroos scrambling. First intervention from Lewis Miller. Well, he's one of those players. He's earned a big money move to Blackburn Rovers, a big club with a good tradition. We'll talk about Brett Emerton's career, Harps in the first half for Geordie Boswell. He was there as well at Blackburn Rovers at right back. A little inspiration for Lewis Miller. New Zealanders will cite the Ryan Nelson reference, as that's another nice little ball in, teasing just to get into the box.
A bit closer to home, of course. You'd be remiss not to cite former Socceroo captain Lucas Neal.
Absolutely.
Closer to home for Lewis Miller, of course. They're from the same junior federation, Manly, on the northern beaches of Sydney. Lewis hails from Pittwood RSL club. Synergies everywhere. Robbie?
Global game, Andy Harper.
Ending up in Blackburn.
Flag up for offside against Wood. Metcalf. That was a nice turn from the St. Pauli man for Boss. Down that left flank. Metcalf again. Geordie Boss. Still so quick and strong off the mark. Geordie Boss, but New Zealand has his measure that time. Teague comes off second best against Elijah Just, who is being manhandled, but within the limits of the law by Alessandro Circati. That's a good ball again. Boyle peeling off the line well enough, but we need that presence in the front line. Socceroos, they have numbers forward here and a little bit of space for Teague to try and create something with Boss. Here's Aidan O'Neill. Lewis Miller being invited to run one-on-one against their opponents, the Socceroos, in those wide positions. New Zealand backing themselves defensively. Burgess. Ambitious pass looking for Connor Metcalf, and Geordie Boss has just caught Callum McCoward. Well, for the moment, New Zealand, they have had those great chances through Chris Wood, twice denied by Paul Izzo, but their last goal came in the 16th minute of their World Cup warm-up match at the MCG back in 2010 against Australia. Chris Killen with the goal before Dario Vidicic and Brett Holman got a 2-1 win for the Socceroos in May 2010, the last time New Zealand scored against the Socceroos. 4 matches since then, the most recent for the Soccer Ashes in England. Socceroos edging towards 50 victories over New Zealand. It's Chirkati again with Miller to the Palmer central defender. The defensive header popped it up to Aiden Rustic, but his touch just let him down. Wood is such a dangerous runner. Milos Degenek doing a great job at the moment of keeping tabs on him. Singh. Closed down by Aidan O'Neill. He made the move last February, March from Belgian football and Standard Liège to the MLS. Have a growing number of Aussies there, as that's a good ball. McCoward turns and it deflects off Burgess. And out for a corner.
It was a beautiful forward ball out of midfield, and really Thomas and Bell for New Zealand have been outstanding tonight. Great angle on that pass. McCoward received it nicely, but Burgess again doing the clean-up work. Centre of midfield. It's certainly been the Kiwis' game to this point.
See all those attacking statistics very much in New Zealand's favour, including touches in the opposition box. Francis de Vries in that left boot. Deliver again, it's a good ball towards Bindon. McCoward will keep it in. That's not quite so good. Trying to steer that ball back into the danger zone with the left boot.
Again, it was Burgess, I think. First defensive header from the corner. So powerful. I mean, they've not missed a thing. Australia. When asked. Chirkati. Or it's Degenek. Or it's Burgess. Excellent.
And a mistake from Tim Payne has let in Martin Boyle here, and he slipped at the crucial moment. He didn't fancy it on his left boot against Crocombe. And when he tried to come inside, the opportunity evaporated.
That's a great chance for Australia. As Tim Payne loses his footing and Boyle's in on goal. Never looked comfortable at all. Unfortunately.
Wouldn't Singh again looking to build for New Zealand. Boyle, the little nudge in the back. And the Scottish referee, which will know Martin Boyle's tricks all too well from the Scottish Premier League. Going for the free kick that Joe Bell will take. Very happy with what he's seen so far, Darren Baisley. find perhaps just the finishing touch. Oh, Burgess allowed that one all the way through. Boxall's shot. Well, it should never really have made it that far. In the end, the Socceroos did well to scramble just enough. Another corner, another one for the left boot of Francis de Vries.
Making meaningful contact there, Cam Burgess, and Boxall just throwing that's out of the way. He's snuffing out the chance.
De Vries this time goes short with Bell. They've changed the angle well enough. Singh. And they couldn't find the finish to that little training ground move, New Zealand, all the way back to Crocombe. He's barely had a thing to do in the match so far, Max Crocombe. De Vries with Just. He tries to whip that ball in. Again, defensively. The green and gold doing a good job, and here's Metcalf now. Just couldn't squeeze the ball out to Geordie Boss. Rustic charging through the middle as well. Connor Metcalf, who spent much of St. Pauli's promotion season injured, did return to make a very telling contribution in the final weeks of last season. They've picked up 4 points from 2 games at the start of this campaign. They sit 5th in the Bundesliga. Connor Metcalf's come off the bench in both games. Still waiting for the return of Jackson Irvine. So that's Geordie Boss. A fierce collision.
Tim Payne looked like he caught one on the noggin now. Thundered into the back of Geordie Boss, who's up and walking around, but look at Tim's body then as he drops. He's not in really good control at that point. I'm really worried looking at that picture if I'm in the Kiwi camp.
Absolutely. Let's head down to Scott McKinnon, who's with us on the sideline. Scotty.
With you just, guys, it's freezing down here. It's about 6 or 7 degrees, but the feels like is around 1 degree, so very icy indeed. Gee, the strength of Geordie Boss, a couple of times he's been in contact and just seems to get straight back to his feet. So he doesn't look the biggest of blokes, but he certainly is strong. Now the crowd, it's really been taken out of the equation because the Kiwis are on top. The biggest cries, the biggest cheers I've heard recently are for Nestori Irankunda as he's been warming up right in front of me. You've got Adrian Segicic too warming up as we speak. Question is, when is Tony Popovic going to pull the trigger and get those excitement machines on the pitch, because the Aussies need a spark.
And there's no shortage of player on the bench who can provide it as well. The likes of Segicic, as you mentioned, Nick Milanovic as well. Strong, powerful runner, even though he's not quite settled at Aberdeen as he would have liked so far in Scotland. And of course, Nestori Irankunda, third youngest ever goal scorer for the Socceroos when he netted that penalty against Palestine in that 5-0 win in Perth. That was back in June 2024. It's taken him a little while to win over Tony Popovic. His move from Bayern Munich on loan at Grasshopper, Zurich, and now at Watford, where 2 stunning free kicks in back-to-back weekends. And the boy who says, just look at my highlights reel.
Yeah, there's plenty of them. But you look at really who's a cut and paste for Martin Boyle if Tony Popovic decides to try something else at the point. Really on the bench leaps to mind. All great attacking prompts, but the centre forward's not really playing their regular mode. Toure is probably the closest. But he's sitting down and not looking like getting ready at all. So the Kiwis are about to make a couple of changes. It's all things as per for Australia for the time being.
it's going to be Callan Elliott for Tim Payne. He certainly came off second best in that challenge with Geordie Boss. The other one is a very familiar face to A-League viewers, Costa Barbarouses, who joined the 100 Club last season, is coming on for Chris Wood. So the Nottingham Forest striker, who had a couple of great chances, the Kiwi captain, passes the captain's armband to Michael Boxall on his way off. And Wood will recharge the batteries, certainly with an eye on Tuesday night in the return game, as Costa Barbarouses, who swapped Wellington for Western Sydney during the off-season. Callan Elliott, who has also returned to the A-League this season with Auckland, midway through last year. And there's the third change just being made rather quickly there. Alex Rufer wasn't ready. The Wellington Phoenix skipper, a famous name in New Zealand football. Nephew and son to two of the great roofers in New Zealand history. Winton Rufer in particular, the uncle, former Werder Bremen legend, and Ryan Thomas getting the congratulations of everyone for his very successful return to the All Whites in the middle of the park.
Yeah, it was excellent, Thomas. Big reason why New Zealand have been so ascendant in this match.
Tony Popovic was the first to make changes at half-time. Darren Baisley waiting for the hour mark. And now, here's Boyle. The cutback. Oh, it's helped on its way by Bell, just beyond Metcalf. Boss. Closed down by Callan Elliott. And Burgess back again. By the way, it is a friendly tournament, but there is a trophy up for grabs, a very important one. That is 102 years old, the Soccer Ashes. As we heard earlier this evening, the ashes of the two cigars smoked by the captains of New Zealand and Australia, Alex Gibb and George Campbell, back in 1923, put in a razor case that had travelled with a digger on the landing at Gallipoli, was then encased in a chest made of Australian maple and New Zealand honeysuckle, lost for 70 years, returned. And so, having said all of that, just to tell you that if these two matches are all square, we won't be going to extra time, Andy Harper, but we will be having penalties to decide who will get the Ashes. A draw will not see the Socceroos retain them as holders.
Well, with the way the Aussies have attacked today, it's going to take a penalty shootout for them to get through New Zealand on this evidence. New Zealand, before the raft of substitutions, have just been made consistently the more dominant team in this game. Australia have had their moments.
Connor Metcalf's shot in the 42nd minute, only the second after Geordie Boss's in the 20th. The only two shots in the match from the home side, and for those of you thus inclined, 0.06 XG for the Socceroos. That's not much to get your teeth into. Singh, again, great technician Always looking to make things happen. Burgess turns and heads back. Izzo's big up and under. Another fantastic leap from Geordie Boss. Aidan O'Neill gets there. Conor Metcalf. Against New Zealand. Showing them more urgency as well. Looking to take throws quickly, keep things moving. Here's Rufer. McCoward. Ball looking for just. Dispossessed by Chiakati. But again, it's the Socceroos looking for safety first, all the way back to their penalty box. Lewis Miller inside with Rustic. Well, there's Saprit Singh from one number 10 to another. Just read the situation perfectly.
Yeah, and it's not been a return to the national team so far for Aidan Rustic that one might have imagined. Struggled to make an imprint. Stylistically, a similar, if I may, Robbie, type player to Ryan Thomas. But nowhere near the same impact in this game for his team compared to Thomas for the Kiwis. We've seen him play so well, Aidan Rustic. He's got so much football in him. It's been disappointing that it's not been on show more so tonight.
Nestor and Kunda and Mo Toure are warming up at the moment. Two attacking options for the Socceroos. Nick Milanovic as well. Now, Francis de Vries. When that happened, it looked like he turned himself, and you always worry when a player pulls up gingerly when no one else was involved. And I wonder if he just landed a little bit awkwardly. It looks as though he's signalling towards that right knee, which is not a good thing, as Ben Old is preparing to come into the game. Now, Ben Old, for those of you that saw the A-League over the last few years, will know he's an outstanding left-sided player. As we have a look again, and what happened here, just look at the left knee. There it is. Is it the right calf? Oh, right knee. Just hyperextended when he came down.
Substitution for New Zealand coming off number 11, Elijah Just, to be replaced by number 19, Ben Old.
That's Elijah Just who's coming off for Ben Old in that left-sided position. That's like for like. And so is the arrival of James McGarry back to the international fold. His only previous international appearance against Lithuania back in 2019. James McGarry, who has a tattoo on that left thigh of the Central Coast Mariners 2022-23 season, and the championship, the trophy, and the pine trees, or rather, we'll have a look just there on that left thigh. You'll see it in a moment as McGarry looks long. The palm trees from Gosford. Pride of place on the left thigh of James McGarry. Now, the change is going to disrupt New Zealand's rhythm a little bit as well. Will that open the door just ajar enough for the Socceroos, who are preparing changes of their own? Some exciting ones by the looks of things. I think the crowd has just seen them as well. Nestor Kunda, Mo Toure and Nick Milanovic, who will become Socceroos cap number 651. Wearing the number 7 shirt, so a proud moment for him and his family and the clubs he played for to get to this moment. a senior international debut.
Well, Rufer bringing down Aidan O'Neill, who's been good off the bench in the second half. Aidan O'Neill playing, as you say, Robbie, in New York, and according to reports, with a smile on his face, which didn't seem to be the case in Belgium with Standard. Rejuvenation for Aidan O'Neill, rekindling the partnership of sorts with Connor Metcalf as well.
Crocombe. It's been a while since he's even touched the ball, Max Crocombe. That's how dominant New Zealand have been for large periods of this match. It's been kept in play by Callan Elliott, it looked like. Not according to the referee's assistant. And now, triple change coming for the Socceroos with just over 15 minutes left. Rustic is making way, so is Martin Boyle. Mo Toure and Connor Metcalf on the left side of midfield in that left-sided number 10 role. Makes way for the former Adelaide United man, the former Bayern Munich man, Nestori Irankunda. Mo Toure will offer a physical point to the attack. An anchor, early ball for Milanovic. Proud moment for him. Ball in. He'll be looking to cut in from those wide positions, as will Nestori Irankunda, to use his pace. Both of them have outstanding shots on them. Milanovic with the left, Irankunda with the right. Finn Sermon, who is the rising star at the back and set for a long career with the All Whites. He comes on to replace Sarpreet Singh, so that will require some sort of reshuffle. And perhaps Darren Baisley just deciding to test a few things as Mo Toure almost turned Bindon. Rufer trying to pull strings from deeper in midfield. Shots on target, just one. That was Connor Metcalf in the 42nd minute. One of only two in the match so far. Boxall. Past Toure, looks long. Degenek continues to win everything in the air, even bundled over by Barbarouses. Lewis Miller was taking off. Ryan Teague had a look, wasn't too interested. Here's Boss. Teague back with Burgess. He looks long for Irankunda. Wins it in the air, nods on towards Toure. Move to 5 at the back for New Zealand, just immediately following the introduction of Irankunda and Milanovic and Toure. A new attacking 3 for the Socceroos. Just his pass, can't find Irankunda. Here's Joe Bell, he looks up. McGarry, oh, he's done very well. James McGarry, who's from a footballing family as well. quite the theme. Chilkati just getting a step on the back of the Achilles. 13 minutes left in regulation time. Barbarouses has shown in the last couple of years he's not lost none of his eye for goal. They scored plenty of goals in their World Cup qualifiers. Barbarouses on the scoreboard in the 7-0 win over Fiji as here goes Geordie Boss against Callan Elliott. Back with Irankunda. He faces forward. Irankunda now, has he been fouled? Yes. A quick feet stepped on by Callum McCoward and a free kick. Andy Harper.
A lovely switch of play from Nick Milanovic, really backed himself. A ranging ball finding Geordie Boss, who got into a pretty impressive foot race. Look at this from Milanovic. You know, that part of the field off the bench, that's a brave pass to hit. If it's short, gets cut out, then your team's off balance. But he backed himself to make the pass. It was a good target in the end, Geordie Boss. And then Irankunda making that situation. Look how quickly and how willingly he turned to face the defenders and put them under pressure. That's what won the free kick. Good little sequence for the Socceroos. People who've been watching his recent highlights reel will be just wondering now if maybe, or maybe not, for Nestor.
In the end, he just dinks it in towards Burgess at the near post. Boss's header. Tyler Bindon, Alex Rufer in fact, with the defensive header. Irankunda, no way past Joe Bell. Throw goes New Zealand's way. Just stopped for a moment, not for an injury, but Max Crocom's shoelace is undone. .11 minutes to go, still no goals in this two-match series for the Soccer Ashes. O'Neill, strong. Toure plays his football these days for Randers in Denmark alongside Paul Izzo, his goalkeeper this evening. He's moved around after leaving Adelaide to Reims in France, where he played for the second team. Loaned out to Paris FC and now at Randers again. Geordie Boss can't find Lewis Miller. They take it quickly, Teague.
Well, with the mayhem caused by mass changes, it's Australia who've come out better. Their most convincing part of the game so far. Kiwis had a great hour of relative dominance. Kiwis are having to make a couple of saves, and generally with the three in front of him having to be very, very strong defensively.
Now here goes Ben Old, the former Wellington Phoenix man. Ben Old chips it back towards the penalty spot. Elliott gets the better of Irankunda. Now Bell, his cross, blocked by Teague. Rufer trying to catch out Izzo from distance. Well, it took him over 100 matches to get his first goal in the A-League. That would have been really something from left field if he'd managed to break his international duck there.
It's a frustration from Darren Bosley, and if it is, on balance it would be that this is a game that we're now in danger of losing because of the momentum shift, and it's one we probably should have been winning.
And here goes Toure looking to continue that momentum shift. Milanovic gets there, crosses, Irankunda! Just over the crossbar, best chance for the Socceroos in nearly an hour's of football.
Well, the subs have done well. Very positive again from Nick Milanovic. Toure feeding. Lewis Miller and attacking the ball there in Kunda. Once he's made that sort of ground, it's well within him to control that header better than he did.
The other thing that's also perhaps contributed to the Socceroos coming back into the contest is the Sermon coming on for Singh as well, and that little switch to a more defensive New Zealand. But here they come, bursting out with Elliott for Ben Old. Got a good left foot, Ben Old looks to cross in. Got a goal earlier this season for Saint-Etienne in the French second division after they were relegated at the end of last year. He started brightly last season, his first in Europe, only to suffer injury. Here's Rufa, a very exciting talent. Ben Old, just really waiting for the consistency to come to his game. Socceroos are preparing for another change.
Yeah, it looks like Max Ballard, which I think is well deserved. He's had to wait longer than some in his position. If indeed it is, Max is covered by a couple of people down there. I'm pretty sure he's going to get his debut.
Hayden Fox is going through the set pieces. It is Max Ballard. What a fantastic moment for the former Central Coast Mariner. Gets a little congratulatory word from Ben Abraham. It's nice, the fourth official. Nice to see. Ballard, who plays for Nat Breda in the Netherlands, has been an ever-present in their side, really. They are struggling a little bit this season in the Eredivisie, but Max is there playing on as Vauxhall has just prevented the corner. Now the change will come, and it's Ryan Teague making way. So Ballard comes on to make his international debut in green and gold. His dad was a professional rugby player back in France. Max was brought up, born in Australia, travelled around, but always considered the green and gold to be his national team colours. Good to see him now take his bow. First touch of the football for Ballard, back with Degenek. Toure. You do see in this Australia team, when you talk about the stories, the origins, the heritages of all these players, that it really is a truly national team which represents all of Australia. The Socceroos from Europe, they have come from Africa, from Asia, calling Australia home. Here's Nestor and Kunda. Ball in is a good one. Towards Chirikati. Mo Toure, who's done well. Good turn. Toure crosses. Chirikati. Toure again with the touch, trying to bend it, blocked. He gets it back again against Barbarouses. Good ball into the area. Ballard! What a debut! Max Ballard, 2 minutes after coming on. Well, he couldn't write that script. The young man who has had to wait and bide his time. Well, timing is everything. 3 minutes to go. Australia lead by a goal to nil.
Well, what a simply brilliant moment for Australian football and for the Ballard family. Again, it's the kids on the Harvey Norman replay. Mo Toure just could not be denied. 2 or 3 times he tried to set the attack up. And on the third occasion, he finds Max Ballard, who, as we said, may have had to wait longer than others to get his chance, but he has not mucked around once he's got on to make his international debut and score what is likely the winner here in the Soccer Ashes in Canberra. What a fantastic moment. Thoroughly deserved. A career built step by step, patient, diligent, professional, and now the reward. He loves it, and Australia loves you, Max. Well done.
It's another second half goal against Australia, and despite spending much of the game on the back foot, they have looked better in the last 15-20 minutes. Mo Toure involved off the bench. And it's those type of stories that football delivers. Max Ballard starring in his very own Hollywood feature film. And New Zealand's search for a goal against Australia continues.
And you just think back a couple of minutes.
Oh, as they might have the chance here. Izzo has saved everything so far, and he does again to deny McGarry.
And Darren Bazley, the coach of New Zealand, was looking very, very frustrated. And the speculation, we speculated that what looked like such a dominant performance might go unrewarded because the Australian tide was rising. And here we go again. All those substitutions have swung the balance the way of Australia.
Milanovic inside onto that trusty left foot. He had a swing as well, it was blocked.
And to be frank, outside of those bursts from Geordie Boss, it's been a rather flaccid performance from the Aussies until the subs have been made. All of them have injected and contributed. Milanovic, Toure, Irankunda, and unforgettably, Maxi Ballard.
Tony Popovic has made his 6 changes, so we won't see Adrian Segicic make his debut this evening. Ball in, the header. Well, Geordie Boss, if you were handing out goals for worthy performances, he just about deserved one himself. We're into the first of 4 minutes of stoppage time. Can New Zealand pull this one out of the fire? Milanovic, Rufa strong, he went again and picks up the free kick. Set pieces have been a feature of Auckland's rise in the A-League. The 2 New Zealand teams in the A-League always count on plenty of travelling support at matches around Australia, and it's no different here for the national team this evening in Canberra. Boxall against Boss. He's done well. Boxall goes again. Geordie Boss is there, but Boxall stays on his feet. Irankunda. He's won the throw. Well, there's just the mere presence of Nestor Irankunda, it looks like, that forced Baisley into that change of formation. Perhaps it was an opportunity as well, to be fair, for New Zealand to try something different. Hold, no way through. Giacatti, is that a free kick? Yes. James McGarry. Socceroo fans have found their voice. You'd have to say an unlikely source delivering the joy as well. Ballard, as the pass back from Burgess wasn't the most comfortable for Paul Izzo. And now, is that going to lead to something for New Zealand? McCoward. Back with Callan Elliott. His cross is a good one. Who's there but Milos Degenek? What a 50th cap it has been for him with the captain's armband. The 64th national team captain, Milos Degenek, born in Serbia, arriving in Australia as a child. And with the captain's armband leading his country. Giacatti over the top for Milanovic, overhit. Aidan O'Neill. Barbarouses sniffing around, hoping to take advantage of any little mistake. Aidan O'Neill, no foul, says the referee. Last chance for New Zealand to try and salvage a share of the spoils here. McGarry needs to show more urgency than that. The referee decides that the Kiwis are taking too long. And it's Max Ballard, the hero on debut in green and gold for Australia.